Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the TBT Podcast. We got a little live stream for you guys today. If you guys are catching this live, welcome in live. If you're not catching it live, typically on our normal Friday time, it got pushed back a little bit, so you may be seeing this on a Saturday morning. But we're just going to get into the AFC Championship game. No Zach today. It's just going to be me kind of just going over the game, some of my thoughts as we get into this AFC Championship game. We're going to have some more stuff along the weekend as we go along. We may be live two more times before the AFC Championship game. We may be live for the AFC Championship game. We'll get more into that at the end of the night. But today, like I said, we're just going to get into the AFC Championship game. Kansas City Chiefs, Baltimore Ravens. I'm excited for this one, guys. I really am. The main thing I've noticed as I kind of, we just talked through this game, and I really want to know what your guys' thoughts are in the comment section below. So make sure, of course, you guys comment below what your guys' thoughts are going into this game. My first initial thought is the disrespect, just the pure disrespect. And I talked about this on Arrowhead Live podcast. I talked about this on another Chiefs podcast. But the disrespect the Chiefs are getting. I know the Baltimore Ravens have been so dominant. They really have. They've been a dominant team all year long. Just blowing people out of the waters. But what I find strange is just how people, the consensus is, can the Chiefs compete in this game? That's what people are saying. Can they compete in this game? I'm like, now the Chiefs, it's the thought of if they can even compete. There's no shot that we don't go out there and just win the game. That's where I'm confused at is, the Chiefs are kind of at this level of disrespect where they're not even, they're a 7 seed, which I don't understand. This team, again, I know they haven't had the most success during the regular season. They didn't dominate like they usually do, but this is still the Kansas City Chiefs. The fact that, again, I turn on ESPN, I turn on Fox, and they're talking about can they compete in this game, to me is absolutely just wild. That's wild to me. I like the Chiefs in this game. I really do. And it's going to be tough. It will. I'm not going to sit here and say oh, okay, well, as confident I was as the Bills game, I'm not as confident as I am versus this Ravens team. And I know I just got through saying, some of the disrespect, and I feel like the Chiefs aren't getting a lot of their credit. The Chiefs feed off that. That's okay. The Kansas City Chiefs absolutely feed off of this type of energy. And they did last week in Buffalo. It was Patrick Mahomes hasn't played a road playoff game. Patrick Mahomes hasn't played a road playoff game. And now he's played a road playoff game. So now that's out of the waters. You can't really sit there and say Patrick Mahomes hasn't played a road playoff game. He's done that. He won. The biggest thing is going to be some of the injuries. That's where you kind of have to dissect this game is you have Joe Thuney is going to be out. I'm pretty sure Willie Gay is going to be out. Sky Moore. You're going to have some injuries. Chiefs are going to have some injuries. I know that the Baltimore Ravens are a little banged up as well. But, again, the Kansas City Chiefs are still a team where, when you have guys out, other guys have found ways to step up. I think the Chiefs are going to be able to do that this week. I don't know who they're going to put in for Thuney. I don't know if it's going to be Nick Allegretti. If they move guys around on the offensive line. I still think that's a big loss. Some people are like, oh, Joe Thuney, it'll be fine. No, Joe Thuney has been probably the least penalized guy on our offensive line. Joe Thuney may be the best guy on our offensive line. I think that is a huge loss versus this Buffalo defense. But how do you beat this Baltimore defense? But how do you beat Baltimore? That's the thing. The first thing how you beat a team like Baltimore is what you have to do is you have to make Lamar Jackson go sideline to sideline. You cannot let him get downhill. If you let him get downhill, it's toast. If you when Lamar Jackson's coming out, you can kind of shuffle your feet and just keep him in front of you, the reserves will come in. And again, he's not going to break through tackles. He's not going to sit there And as soon as you hit him, he's not going to break through tackles. He's just not. He's not. He's not like a Josh Allen where, again, you hit him, he's still going to get 2 or 3 yards. No, he's going down once you hit him, or he'll slide. But that's how you get him. You got to get him to go out of bounds. You got to get him to go sideline to sideline. You cannot let him go downhill. And if you can kind of just, again, maintain him, know where he's at. I'm not as concerned in the pass game. I know a lot of people are thinking, oh, Lamar likes – he does. He likes to get outside. He likes to make plays, find guys downfield. I'm not as concerned. I think Snead and McDuffie and those guys will be on top of that. I'm not. I'm really not. He's got to slow down. And I'm not even really concerned about Gus Edwards or Justice Hill or those guys running the ball. It's just Lamar getting out. It's Lamar getting out and picking up those first downs and extending plays. That is my biggest concern. It is, can you keep Lamar contained? That's going to be the biggest thing. If you can keep Lamar contained. If you can't, he's going to get all over you. Lamar's going to just run the ball all over you. He will. And Mark Andrews is coming back. Mark Andrews, I see a lot of people. I'm not, as my camera's kind of flip-flopping, I'm not as concerned about Mark Andrews as a lot of Chiefs fans are. Excuse me, let me fix this for you guys. There we go. I'm not as concerned as a lot of Chiefs fans are, like, oh, Mark Andrews come back. And I love Mark Andrews. As a Sooner, Oklahoma Sooner guy, I love Mark Andrews. I'm just, again, I don't think his first game back, he's going to come out there and just be getting wide open. He's just going to be going out there. OBJ is my biggest concern, and Zay Flowers. Those two guys right there are my biggest concerns because they can beat you deep at any given time. But my thing with the Ravens, if you notice the Ravens, they never play. I know they put up points. They're the number one scoring offense. And typically, that would make me worried, but you have the second scoring defense. So you have the number one scoring defense versus the number 2 scoring defense, and then the number one scoring, literally, the team that has dominated in the postseason or just put up huge points in the postseason and has just put up points like crazy outside the Miami Dolphins. Is the Baltimore Ravens. But my thing is the Chiefs, they don't give up 30. Like and I see some people being like, oh, the Chiefs are going to lose like 21-35. I'm like, I cannot see the Chiefs giving up that many points. They just haven't gave up 30 points. They've given up 30 points once in a calendar year. And that was to the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl. So the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl. So they don't just give up 30 points. So a lot of these people that are taking the over in this game, I would not take it. A lot of people are just obsessed, thinking a lot of people wanting the Chiefs to lose. That's the main thing is the people. No one's really riding with the Chiefs because, again, who wants the Kansas City Chiefs to win? Nobody. They all want the Kansas City Chiefs to lose because they're sick of the Chiefs, and I get that. But again, I still think the Chiefs can get this done. All they have to do, again, like I said, keep Lamar Jackson in front of you. If you keep Lamar Jackson in front of you, you're going to be successful. If you can just do that, you got to keep Lamar Jackson in front of you. You can't just let him just start scrambling and get out there and just start picking up first downs. Then you're going to be in trouble. You really are. Another thing to look out for is you need to kind of spread out the offense. The outside of Humphreys, their secondary isn't the best. I know they got Kyle Hamilton, but and I like Kyle Hamilton. Kyle Hamilton's great, but their secondary is not the best. Their corners are not the best corners to shut down guys. That's where I feel like you really have to attack Baltimore. I know, obviously, we've kind of got it done through the ground, kind of this, gritty, ground and pound type team Kansas City Chiefs have been. But I think this has really got to be a game where they're kind of just airing it out. That's where teams have beaten Baltimore is through the air. And I think that's what the Chiefs are going to have to do. They're going to have to put Kelsey out wide. They're going to have to find Rice. All they got to do with Rice is just keep doing what they're doing with them. What they're doing is they're kind of doing wide receiver screens with Rashee Rice. And it's working. That's if I was Andy Reid, I'm just going to keep going back to these wide receiver screens. Because, again, he catches the ball, and I don't know what it is, but he has like an immediate player boost. He just goes so fast with the ball. He's not like the fastest player without the ball, but he just goes so fast with the ball. And then another guy, I think, I know I'm kind of moving quickly here. I just kind of want to give you guys like a rundown of just some of my thoughts of just the game of what the Chiefs got to do. Because like I said, we may have a live stream where we're really just going to be kind of soaking up the game, telling our pregame plan. I kind of want to have that on Sunday, a little Championship Sunday live. But yeah, so this is more of just like a rundown, guys. Make sure, again, you guys subscribe. If you guys are watching this live or if you guys are watching this afterwards, make sure you guys comment. Make sure you guys do all those sorts of things. Subscribe, like, check us out on Instagram and TikTok, of course. Instagram, we post over there all the time. Some videos of us, even on other podcasts. So make sure you guys go check that out. But yeah, guys, we're sitting here live. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me anything. But yeah, it's just so really back into this game. That's what I think it's going to come down to. I think it's really going to come down to the red zone efficiency. Red zone efficiency. How are the Chiefs going to be able to stop touchdowns and prevent threes? Because if they can trade 7 for threes, that's huge. Because we all know, like Justin Tucker, if he gets within 50 yards, he's automatic. So that's the thing. That's the thing that sucks is they just have a really good kicker. If it comes down to it, you're not going to have a Tyler Bass. He's going to make that. Justin Tucker is going to hit that every single time. So yeah, that's that. Is you have a guy in Justin Tucker where he's, again, he gets it within 55 yards. He's going to nail it. So you basically, again, have to trade 3 for 7. If they move the ball, they get it across that 50-yard line, they have a field goal. You have to excuse me, guys, as I plug this in. You have to be prepared to get 7. You got to go get 7. You can't sit there. And again, if they get 3, like this game coming up, I know Baltimore game, right? So you had it where it was like, if it was almost felt like one of those games, like if you punted, it was like, you may be in trouble. Like you can't have any punts. We know the Chiefs, I think, maybe had 1 or 2 punts during the Bills game. But again, they were able to make the Bills in that second half punt 4 straight times. They were able to stop the run. That's going to be the biggest thing with this Chiefs team is they're not great versus the run. We know they can shut down the pass, but they're not great versus the run. They have to shut down the run. If you shut down the run and you make Lamar, I promise this, if Lamar has to drop back 30-plus times this game, they will lose. I promise you that, ladies and gentlemen. If you make Lamar Jackson drop back 30 or more times, they will lose this game. I guarantee you that the Kansas City Chiefs will win this game if Lamar Jackson has to consistently get there and just say, hey, you know what, we're going to beat them with the pass game. I don't think they can win that way. I don't think they can consistently sit there and just try to pick our defense apart. The way our defensive line is played and the way our cornerbacks is played, I don't think you can do that. I really just don't. Going to Baltimore, I know that's another thing a lot of people have talked about. To be honest, I mean, again, they just played in Buffalo, which is a very hostile environment. I know, obviously, Baltimore is too, but they just played in a very hostile environment. So a lot of the people that are saying, "Oh, well, they got to go play in Baltimore. They got to go play in Baltimore." I'm not really worried about that. I'm going to be honest. I think they'll be all right, just because, again, they just played in a hostile environment. Oh, excuse me, guys. Oh, yeah. So you basically, again, and the thing is this too, and this is another thing about the Chiefs, is they can't sit there and blitz the whole game. The Chiefs' offensive line, I think on 64, Mahomes dropback, 64. 0 sacks. I know it could be a little bit more than that, could be a little bit less than that, but 0 sacks on 64 dropbacks. So that leaves it to this. What can Baltimore do? Can they send 4? If they're only sending 4, Patrick Mahomes is just gonna. I mean, again, like I said, their secondary, they don't have the best secondary. Patrick Mahomes will just light them up. If they're only sending 4, but here's the thing: if they want to blitz, they want to send more than 5 or 6. Patrick Mahomes, we know what Patrick Mahomes does versus the blitz. We know that. We know what Patrick Mahomes does versus the blitz. Patrick Mahomes absolutely tears people up on the blitz. So that's kind of a dilemma they could be in. Is you have it where Kansas City is at a position where if you want to blitz Kansas City, you can't, because one, Patrick Mahomes versus the blitz, what he does versus blitz is he absolutely smokes people during the blitz. We all know that. And then you have, if you send 4, well, again, Patrick Mahomes, again, he has all the time in the day to just pick your defense apart. So that's going to be tricky for Baltimore. I don't think a lot of people have really talked about that. What Patrick Mahomes can do if they want to start blitzing, they want to send 5. I think that's going to be a big Kelsey day. I really do. I think that's going to be a big Kelsey day. I think he'll have a good game. I know Kyle Hamilton's going to be on him. A lot of people have tried to tell me, well, if Kyle Hamilton's on him, then, he's going to get locked up. I'm not really worried about that. I think the vet will kind of be able to handle the younger guy. So that I'm not too concerned about. It's really just the other guys. If MVS has the type of game he had last time, I think that can be huge for the Chiefs. MVS, if he can have a game like he did versus the Bengals a couple years ago when all those guys went out, then what you need else is you need Hardman to come in and not be a fucking idiot. Excuse my language. You need Hardman to come in the game and not be an idiot. If he can come in the game, just get the ball, just be smart with the ball, little jet sweeps here and there, little checkdowns. That's another element to the Chiefs. If you can have that, where again, just not make a mistake, go in the game. And I want to see more of Richie James. I want to see more of Richie James. I want to see more of Justin Ross in this game. I know they haven't played a lot, but I think those guys are going to be key. And I think Rice Kid is another guy who can have a big game. Because again, like I said, I think in this game the Chiefs are going to have to air it out a little bit. I think the Chiefs are going to have to air it out a little bit. I like Pacheco. I want Pacheco to get his thing going. But I think this is going to be a game where they kind of air it out. They kind of get the ball underneath. Maybe like a death by 1,000 needles where, again, you're not typically just, it's a 30, 40-yard bomb, but you're kind of going underneath, boom, touchdown. But they got to be efficient in the red zone. You have to be efficient in the red zone because you can't get and play this Baltimore team and think you're going to go drive after drive after drive with field goals. You can't. You just can't. Unless your defense comes out and plays absolutely perfect football. You can't because, again, this Baltimore team can score like that. They can score in a blink of an eye. They're like the old Chiefs. And that's what they want to do, too. That's how you limit them. You make them go the length of the field. They don't want to go the length of the field. They want to score quick. Make Lamar go the length of the field. Make him speak out as many plays as possible. That's how you get an extra turnover. Again, when he's not used to being on the field all the time, when he wants those quick plays, when he wants to get off the field, when he wants to touch that quick, that's when you blitz. And again, Lamar Jackson has not been the best player on the blitz. He handled it a little bit better, I'll say this, last week versus Houston. He handled it a lot better of just finding his check down, finding his guy, being able to just get it to his guy and not trying to force it downfield. But yeah, he's not the best versus the blitz. He's really not the best versus the blitz. So I think if Spags can figure out ways to blitz effectively, I don't want Spags to just go out there and just be like, we're just going to blitz the whole time, and then there are guys just over pursuit, and then it leaves Lamar a wide open lane. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. So he's just got to be smart about it. He's definitely got to be smart about it, how you contain him, how you blitz him. And yeah, I think those are some of the reasons why the Kansas City Chiefs can get it done. Again, they can't have any turnovers. They got to play. They can't have what Hardman did last week. They can't have one of those. If you have an opportunity to put a team away, you have to put them away right then and there. You can't have it where you get it and all of a sudden you're there at like the 1 yard line, 2 yard line, and you're running it with McCall Hardman. Get it to Clyde or get it to Pacheco. Or shit, even Patrick Mahomes wanted it then. I mean, that's what you have to do. You can't play this like, oh, let's play this fancy rink. No, be old school. Sometimes you have to be old school. I think I think Andy Reid gets away from that sometimes. He wants these little wrinkles and gadgets, and it's like, you don't have to have these wrinkles and gadgets to me. As long as you get it done, just meat and potatoes, you can do it. But yeah, guys, those are some of my thoughts on the game. Like I said, guys, we'll probably be back for a live stream game for this game coming up. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about the NFC side too if we go live on Sunday at 3 o'clock Eastern for the game. So make sure you guys go check out. Make sure you guys go check out all of our other videos here at the TBT Podcast. Follow us on all social media. And yeah, we will see you guys next time on the TBT Podcast.